We do have a short video, if we can play that, just introduction.
The TTXGP has been an adventure of a lifetime. It culminated in a single day where we changed history.
You asked the question about challenges. All I can see are fabulous opportunities for new sponsors, new drivers, new racers, new equipment. It's just a marvellous world of opportunity that's opening up.
It is an enormous satisfaction to design something, to put it on the motorbike and to see faster lap time. It's as good as winning.
Teams, engineers, riders, spectators, all coming together and making a step and changing the world.
Motorsport is competitive, and there's a constant arm race going on. It's a technological feeding frenzy, and when the electric bikes start beating the petrol bikes, then I really think the dawn of a new era is with us.
It's important to meet head-to-head with the incumbents and win.
They have to be competitive with internal combustion machines. This weekend will prove that.
It's a 5-minute video. We don't have time to go through it all now, but I'd thoroughly recommend you go to our website, eGrandPrix.com. You can see the rest of it, including at the end some very pithy comments from petrol heads on what they think about electric, which is well worth listening to. I just want to talk about a little bit about our company and really what we're about and why we're doing motorsport and how we use motorsport to drive our business. Motorsport is really it says not our fuel, but I should have said it's really just part of the journey, it's not our destination. We're not really about bikes, we're not really about racing. However, we're the world's leading race series today. We're on 3 continents, we're on TV now. We race about 14 races a year. We've just come back from a race, 3 weekends back-to-back with the US, Netherlands, Germany, and our next race, the next 3 races in fact, will take us to Miller in Utah before we go to Le Mans in France, and we finish up in Daytona in October. And this brings together teams from across the world, including actually a Chinese team, Zhongshen, who's our first OEM manufacturer who's joined our racing and really are leading with some new bikes this year. Why motorsport? What's our mission on this? The great thing about motorsport from our perspective has been what a great way of innovation, a great area. It doesn't suffer from the regulatory challenges you have going to a public market. So we've kind of defined our mission in these 3 categories. Firstly, finding the pain. What that basically means is the EV industry as it is right now, there is an incredible amount of pain. At virtually every point of the value chain, there is pain. The question is, what can we do? What pain can we solve? And that's actually turned out to be quite a deep question. It's taken us a few years to work out exactly where do we fit into that larger cycle. The state of the industry, I personally feel, is a little bit like a gold rush. The town has just set up. You've basically got the saloon. Maybe we've got a sheriff, but that's about it. But things are maturing very, very quickly. The other great thing about motorsport is in our 14 races, and you'll know from F1, is every race is a new iteration of your technology. It's like going through 14 generations of evolution. So it's a great place for us to test the cure, work out what works, what doesn't work, and we evolve and we push forward very quickly. And last thing is feed the masses, which in our prospect means what technology can we take and commercialize. That's really what it's about. And in EV industry in general, you know, we're at the first step of an industry that's incredibly hyped. There's a lot EVs can do, a lot electricity powered vehicles can do, but there's a lot they can't. And currently, when you've got politicians who've perhaps grown up on Star Trek and imagine that these EVs are going to do this, that, the other thing, that's not really real. There is a price and performance curve we have to hit, and motorsports is really helping us, for a company our size, define where that price and performance intersect is and where that sweet spot is, allows us to go forward. I'm going to give you 3 examples of stuff that we've done, but this is just really to show you how the motorsport ecosystem works for us. So here's an example of some of the stuff we've done. We started building some of the bikes that you saw on the screen and you saw in Javier's presentation as well. We learned a lot about building battery packs, building energy containment systems, management systems, both from a technical perspective, but also how does it work commercially. And the green car you see there is the Lola Drayson car, which some of you may have seen at Goodwood, that did the hill climb. The battery system from that car came from us. We supplied that. And that was experience that we learned from our racing. So for a company that wasn't even in this space, we learned about energy, learned about batteries. We've had actually, one of the things about motorsports, Americans have a great phrase. For us, a failure mode is a very kinetic event. And there's nothing like learning when you see one of your things go up. And that's how we've learned. But I'm proud to say, I think our packs are, I hope, some of the best in the world. And we hope to keep on that forefront by using motorsport as our learning lab. Another example of technology that's come from our motorsport experience, we've learned a lot about building battery packs. And within that, we're now developing some technology which essentially we want to turn every cell into a microprocessor. And the reason why we want to do that, again, it's a bit too much to go into now, but it gives you significant advantages in the supply chain, in how the business model will develop, in how you release batteries, manage cells, and so on and so forth. And we have some early prototypes of this technology coming forward, which essentially means that you'll be able to take a cell, and that cell will have its own audit, its own life, its own history tagged to the cell. And when it becomes part of a larger system, the control is distributed across the entire pack. And again, there are real significant benefits to why that makes sense and why we think we can really lead in that space. And that's really come from motorsport. In fact, that's come from the fact that we lost a bike to a fire a year ago. So, yeah. Another application, very quickly, that we've now been developing. Again, don't have time to go into a lot of detail, but essentially it replicates the concept of cloud data and moves it to power. So we have a concept called cloud power, which we are selling to the grid. And we have 3 opportunities now, one in the US, one in Europe, and one in Asia, where essentially what it does is it acts as a application service provider for the power industry. And we distribute power across the grid using, you'll see in this picture those little black boxes. Those black boxes are basically repackaged up motorcycle parts. So take the frame, take the wheel off, take all that, and take some of the core intelligence, and we put that into the grid to give real advantages to a number of power authorities where they can increase their utilization of assets, they can improve their reliability of supply, they can also significantly improve their billing. And we're very proud to say this will be, I think, the first system in the world that brings telecom-grade billing to the power industry. What's our larger mission? We really are trying to do big things. The big phrase is go big or go home. And we can't do it by ourselves. So we're looking for partners, technology partners who come and join us in our journey. We've got a number of very interesting touch points that we can help you on. And, of course, we need help too. So I think that's about it, unfortunately. But please come and see me after if you have more questions. All right.